Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the start of my next Let's Play. The second game in the Legacy of Kain series, Soul Reaver. Set, at least, maybe 1,000 years after the events of Blood Omen. I'll just take us to the main menu so that the demo doesn't start. Right, so in this game we are not actually playing as Kain, we're playing as that creature that you saw in the title screen. We'll get to know a little bit more about him in a second. Let's just check everything's okay. I might knock the sound down and the music and put the speech up a bit. Just so that you can actually hear what's being said, because in this game, much like Blood Omen, the dialogue is very, very important. So, with that done, can't change the button settings. So let's get right into it. This is Legacy of Kain, Blood Omen. This is Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver.
Kain is deified. The clans tell tales of him. Few know the truth. He was mortal once, as were we all. However, his contempt for humanity drove him to create me and my brethren. I am Raziel, firstborn of his lieutenants. I stood with Kain and my brethren at the dawn of the Empire. I have served him a millennium. Over time, we became less human and more divine. Kain would enter the state of change and emerge with a new gift. Some years after the Master, our evolution would follow, until I had the honor of surpassing my lord. For my transgression, I earned a new kind of reward. Agony. There was only one possible outcome. Eternal damnation. I, Raziel, was to suffer the fate of traitors and weaklings, to burn forever in the bowels of the Lake of the Dead. Cast him in. Tumbling, burning with white-hot fire, I plunged into the depths of the abyss. Unspeakable pain, relentless agony. Time ceased to exist. Only this torture and a deepening hatred of the hypocrisy that damned me to this hell. An eternity passed, and my torment receded, bringing me back from the precipice of madness. The descent had destroyed me, and yet I lived.
Raziel, you are worthy. I know you, Raziel. You are worthy.
What madness is this? What pitiful form is this that I have come to inhabit? Death would be a release next to this travesty.
You did not survive the abyss, Raziel. I have only spared you from total dissolution.
I would choose oblivion over this existence.
The choice is not yours.
I am destroyed.
You are reborn. The birth of one of Kain's abominations traps the essence of life. It is this soul that animates the corpse you lived in. And that, Raziel, is the demise of Nosgoth. There is no balance. The souls of the dead remain trapped. I cannot spin them in the wheel of fate. They cannot complete their destinies. Redeem yourself. Or if you prefer, avenge yourself. Settle your dispute with Kain. Destroy him and your brethren. Free their souls and let the wheel of fate churn again. Use your hatred to reave their souls. I can make it possible. Become my soul reaver, my angel of death.
And we are in. So, this is our main character. This is Raziel. And from that opening cutscene, you could probably guess, Raziel was once a vampire, serving Kain. After the events of Blood Omen, Kain basically took over Nosgoth and raised 6 lieutenants to help him rule the place, Raziel being the first and strongest. But because of the whole wings situation, because Raziel evolved a new gift before Kain did, that was apparently a crime punishable by death, which is why we got thrown into the abyss. But somehow, Raziel has survived.
These gates twist space, laying a path across great spans.
Yeah, this is basically the game's fast travel system. So, Okay, so if I engage the gate, so we can see like other locations throughout the game. I'm guessing that's the abyss where we got tossed into. The other ones are like the territories of Kain's lieutenants. The trouble is we can't actually use this gate until we actually find the other locations. So we have to go back through the gate to activate it. So a little note, you probably recognise that voice that's speaking to Raziel. That is Tony J, returning from Blood Omen to voice the Elder God, who is apparently responsible for the cycle of birth, death and rebirth.
You are weak. You must feed.
The old hunger has left me. I have no desire for blood.
You are changed. Your bloodthirst is replaced by a deeper need. You have become a devourer of souls. To sustain your strength, you must hunt the lost spirits of the underworld and consume the souls of your enemies.
Okay, so this is a strange healing system. So instead of drinking blood, we have to consume souls. That's those glowy green sprites there. Fun fact, in the demo to this game, instead of just being glowing balls, they had like a symbol in them. Not sure why they removed that in this version. We can't leave this room until we're at full strength, so... You see that little meter in the bottom right of the screen? Okay, so speaking of voice actors, Raziel himself is voiced by none other than Michael Bell, whom you might recognise as a pretty prominent voice in Nickelodeon cartoons. For example, he's Drew and Chaz in Rugrats, but you didn't expect that. Simon Templeman also reprises his role as Kain.
Your wings, though ruined, are not without purpose. Take hold of them as you leap, and they will carry you across this chasm.
Yeah, despite being wrecked, we can still use Raziel's wings to glide, so up we go. Can move on. The camera isn't fixed, I can turn it, but not with the thumbstick, it's with the triggers.
What scabrous wretches are these?
Slua, the scavengers of the underworld. Their feral hunger has claimed countless souls, spirits who now shall never find their rest.
Yeah, so these are our first enemies in the game. These are Slua, basically vermin. Yeah, they eat souls much like Raziel does, but yeah, it's complicated. We could just like straight up try and fight them like this, but auto-facing is much easier because you get the ability to dodge, like so. It actually helps to feed off Slua straight away, because if you kill two and leave them be, they actually merge back into one. Stay still, will you? That's the only trouble. When these guys get low on health, they just start running away. Though auto-facing doesn't really help much. That's them dealt with. Next area should be up here. I like that shimmering effect. Oh, we're underwater, that's why. There we go. Some kind of portal here.
These portals are your conduit between the spectral and material realms. With their aid, you may gather matter and will yourself to become manifest in the physical world. This is taxing, however. Your strength must first be fully restored. You require no conduit to return to this plane. You may abandon your physical body at any time.
Okay, so, yeah, so that's why everything's dark and blue. We're not actually in the physical world, we're in the spirit world. Yeah, so to actually go after Kain and exact our revenge, we need to be in the physical world, which is what this portal is for. And as the Elder God said, our strength has to be full for us to use it.
Sustain your strength to prolong your manifestation in the physical world. If you fail to feed or absorb too many wounds, this fragile matter will dissolve.
Okay. So the way back where we came has now been blocked off. Where is it? Ah, there it is. Yeah, we can't go back down to the abyss in the physical world. So our next port of call should be through here.
You are young yet, Raziel. You still retain many of your vampiric weaknesses. Immersion in water, while not fatal, will dissolve your physical body, forcing your return to the spirit world. Be aware that in the spectral realm, water has neither heft nor lift. It stands as thin as air.
Yeah, you probably noticed that when we came out of the abyss. Yeah, water is just as thin as air in the Spectral Realm. And at this point in the game, if we fall into water and become submerged in it, we'll basically be forced into the spirit world again. So, we're going to have to jump over this puddle. Ooh, bit of a splash there. Okay, through the door here.
What are these creatures?
Do you not recognize them? They are the children of your brother, Duma.
That's impossible. These foul, scuttling beasts could not be kin of our high blood.
Do you suppose that time stood still for you, Raziel? Much has changed since you passed from the world of men.
So yeah, every one of Kain's lieutenants did have vampire descendants, or at least people that they turned into vampires. And it seems that they've evolved somehow. Like, for example, Duma, his kin have like really long tongues that they use to suck blood out of their victims.
I knew my opponent's weaknesses, having suffered them myself. Physical wounds are fleeting. A vampire's immortal flesh begins to close as soon as it is cleaved. Vampires need only fear those wounds that impale or inflame. Water scorches like acid, and fledglings are devastated by sunlight's touch. I would have to modify my tactics to suit my foes.
So yeah, like Raziel said, the best way to deal with vampires is sunlight, impalement, or water. Come on, one at a time. Yeah, these ones are actually quite weak. So let's see if I can throw him onto that spike there. Up you go.
Unfettered from the flesh, a creature's soul fades swiftly into the spectral realm. Draw it in quickly, Raziel, or you will be compelled to follow.
Hey, leave me alone, I'm trying to eat here. I've got to catch that soul quick before it disappears. You were very close to fading there. Well, let's deal with you. I think I'm going to throw you into the sunlight. A little note, if you want to actually start looking as if they're tired, if you hit them a few more times so that they start glowing red, you'll actually have more time to grapple with them. Yeah, these are some of the weakest enemies in the game. There you go. Damn, missed. Come here. I'll just walk into it. There we go. Now, you don't have to weaken them before you make them stand in the sunlight. It is possible to like push them into the sunlight or trick them into walking into it themselves.
Your physical prowess surpasses what you knew in life. Even massive obstacles can be moved effortlessly.
Okay, time to move some stuff. Okay, I think the way forward is just to the left here. Pull this block along. Pull back a bit. That should do the trick. A bit further, but I think I can reach it from here. There we go. I might be coming back here in a little bonus segment, because there's something at the bottom of that water that we need. If we find any more of what I'm looking for in the meantime, I'll show you, but I'm not just jumping into that water for the sake of it. We'll be back, because there is something down there that we need. Okay, into the next area.
My God! The sanctuary of the clans reduced to ruin. Beyond these walls lay the pillars of Nosgoth, the seat of Kain's empire. How humble it now appeared, collapsing into the dust of its former magnificence. And yet, I had only just emerged. In the instant between my execution and resurrection, centuries had apparently passed.
This world is wrecked with cataclysms. The earth strains to shrug off the pestilence of Kain's parasitic empire. The fate of this world was preordained in an instant by a solitary man. Unwilling to martyr himself to restore Nosgoth's balance, Kain condemned the world to the decay you see. In that moment, the unraveling began. Now it is nearly played out. Nosgoth teeters on the brink of collapse. Its fragile balance cannot hold.
So yeah, that's not good. Because the canon ending is that Kain refused the sacrifice, Nosgoth is dying. And it's gone on for so long that it's almost over. The end of the world is coming. Okay, we've got another one of Dumar's kids here. I saw something attached to the wall there, maybe we can use that. Here we go. I might keep this with me for the time being, because that is an incredibly useful weapon. I could have thrown him into that fire as well. Oh well. Oh, there's another one. Coming at me off screen, eh? Okay. Should be them. Here's the main door. Can we get in?
The doors of the sanctuary were immovable, either barred from the inside or rusted shut. I would need to find another means of entry.
There's a gate over here as well, but I think that's closed. Yeah, that's closed. Oh, that's the thing I mentioned. There's one of those in that water pond in the previous area, where I'm not close enough to actually examine it, because the Elder God will tell us what they are. Anyway, let's keep moving. Oh crap, I could have snuck up on him. Maybe I'll try it again later. Because if you manage to sneak up on an enemy, like I could have done there, you can impale them straight off. Like, you don't have to weaken them first. Okay, there's a bridge up there. Maybe I'll find the way up there later. But first we have to go through here. Leave that spear there for the time being, because we need to go through here next. Here we are. So this is one of those fast travel portals. So if I activate it now, of course that will take us back into the first portal near the start of the game. But we don't want to do that, because we'll be forced back into the spectral realm. Vampire's back. Let's get that spear. I'm just in the nick of time there, I think. Okay. Ah, here we are.
This, at least, had remained constant. The endlessly swirling vortex of the abyss, my tomb, and the womb of my rebirth. Though much of Nosgoth's landscape had changed, these cliffs gave me my bearings. My clan territory was to the west. I was anxious to see how my descendants had fared during the centuries of my absence.
So yeah, Raziel had descendants as well, much like Dumas. It seems Raziel wants to check up on them, but we have to go to the west, which is this way. We could go further, but I don't think we can fly far enough to get over the other side. Raziel wants to check up on his kids. Let's keep moving. There's another Dumar. We'll be meeting some other vampire-like enemies later. Yeah, there aren't just the Dumars. There's a fire over there. Seems as though Raziel's territory's been overrun. Oh, I forgot that happens. Yeah, you need to actually feed on the soul, because if you don't, and you try and pick up your weapon again, the corpse will come back to life. Let's have this one. Okay, that gate's open now. Need to move this next. I'm just setting up a secret for later on. We can't push it up the stairs, but there is something on the right here. It's another one of those pie pieces. I might as well tell you what they are. You have to gather 5 to make Raziel's health bar bigger, and believe me, that will help. If you're playing this yourself, I'd recommend at least getting 1 set of 5.
Utter desolation. My once proud kin wiped from this world like excrement from a boot. I knew the hand that wrought this deed.
Yeah, that's a shame. Raziel's descendants, or his brood even, have all been wiped out. Yeah, Kain ordered them killed. They're all gone. There's only Raziel left. Okay. Right, well, I think that's a decent enough starter taster for this game. It's very much like a Zelda game, really. You're exploring new areas, unlocking new abilities to explore more, to eventually exact Raziel's vengeance against his brothers and Kain, his former master. So, it is a good point to tune off, I think. See, the thing is, whenever you save the game and reload it, you're always back at the start of the game, in the Abyss. So the best thing to do is probably activate this portal, and then we'll have a quick return for when we come back. So, this is Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver. The second game in the series, chronologically anyway. There is a Blood Omen too, but events in that game make it non-canon. Okay, that's the camera reshuffling itself. So when we come back, folks, we will explore more of Raziel's territory. I'll see you then. Bye.